Dear students, welcome back to CUET Model Exam discussion of the session Quantitative Aptitude. Here we can consider our first question. So it's a question from the area of sequences or series. Here find the 100th term of the following given series 1, 2, 4, 7, etc. So first of all, you have to understand what is the pattern, actual logical pattern behind this series question. So here, if we are considering our first term, so we can express it as T1. So T1 is 1. So consider T2. What is T2 here? That is 2. T3. So what is T3 here? That is 4. And T4, that is term 4. So that is 7 and so on. So you just think about how we can separate these values or how we can identify the pattern behind the series. So this 1, we can write it as 1 plus 0. This 2, we can write it as 1 plus 1. And 4, we can write it as 1 plus 3. And 7 is 1 plus 6. And so on. So what is the specialty of these numbers? 1, 3, 6, such pattern. So this is nothing but the sum of first one natural number, sum of first two natural numbers, sum of first three natural numbers, or we can write the step again in the form 1 plus 0. So therefore we don't want to write anything here, but this one 1 plus sum of first one natural number, one natural number. Got it? So one natural number. There is not any separate meaning for that. That's simply 1 itself. Only for generalizing the concept. So this is 1 plus sum of first two natural numbers. Two natural numbers. In the similar way, if we are considering this one, this is 1 plus sum of first three natural numbers. Sum of first three natural numbers. Got it? So this is the pattern. So just understand, if it is term 4, that is 1 plus sum of first three natural numbers. So therefore, how we can write term n or nth term? Or in this case, we have to find out the 100th term. So what is term 100? So this will be 1 plus sum of first 99 natural numbers. First 99 natural numbers. Got it? First 99 natural numbers. That is 1 plus sum of first 99 natural numbers. So how to find out the sum of first 99 natural numbers? There we have the result. That is n into n plus 1 by 2. N into n plus 1 by 2. So this is the result for finding the sum of 99 natural numbers. That means the result for finding the sum of first n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 by 2. We are applying that result here. That is 99 into 100 by 2. So after simplifying this one, this is 1 plus. So what about this one? 50 into, while simplifying this one, 50 into 99. So therefore 0, 5 into 9, 45, 4 is there, 45 plus 4, so that is 49. So our final answer becomes, this is equal to 4,951. 4,951. So this is the answer. So this way we can find the value, but it's very important from the given pattern or series, you have to catch what is the actual logical pattern behind such a question. That's a very important requirement. Through only practice, you can make such kind of conclusions. Otherwise, it's quite difficult to identify such a logical pattern from the given question. So only practice. So therefore, you have to give much more importance for the operations or the idea of practice. That's a very important thing. So we can move to the next concept. Our next question, that is x is to y equal to 4 is to 5. Find the value of 11x plus 13y divided by 11x minus 13y. Can we put the values of x and y directly as 4 and 5 here? So normally, theoretically, it's not possible. So if x is to y, if x is to y is 4:5, what we can consider? You can take x equal to 4k. Mathematically, this k is called multiplicative factor. And y is, we can assume that as 5k. So then, just substitute these values in the given expression. What you will get? So therefore, this is 11x plus 13y divided by 11x minus 13y. Got it? So just substitute the values here. So instead of x, we can put that as 4k. So this is 11 into 4k plus 13 into 5k divided by, this is 11 into 4k minus 13 into 5k. So here you will get the value that as 44k plus 65k divided by 44k minus 65k. So what you will get? This is equal to 109k, got it, divided by minus, here what is the difference? That is 21k. Here we know that both the k become eliminated or simplified. So then finally our answer is minus 109 divided by 21. So that's the final answer. So negative 109 divided by 21. So here, after completion of this operation, we got the idea that if we are substituting this x as 4 and y as 5, the given expression, then also we will end up this kind of a conclusion. Got it? So that means there is no need to consider the multiplicative factor k in such a question if we are sure about the cancellation of such a multiplicative factor in the final step of operation. So how we can make it confirm? So that means here both the numerator and denominator are same degree expressions. So therefore those ends with the values like this, k and k, we can simplify it. So if k is not simplified from such a step, we cannot make a unique numerical conclusion. So understand that point. At that you have to alert whether the option contains any cannot be determined option. So if you are sure about the cancellation is possible, then you don't want to go for the substitution like this. Directly substitute the value of x as 4 and y as 5 in the given expression. Then also we will reach this conclusion. Now move to the next question. The LCM of two numbers of 3 digits, each is 1740 and HCF is 290. The two numbers are. So here we just simply consider the options. From the options we can consider, if you are taking this value, this first option. So here by observation we know that HCF is 290. But here what is LCM? So here 290 is a common factor for this 290 and 870. That's why we are taking HCF as 290. And this 870 is a multiple of 290. Therefore, no doubt here LCM is 870. So, but we need LCM as 1740. So, it's not matching. Similarly, the next one also here, if you are considering these two values, their HCF is 290. This 580 again is a multiple of 290. Therefore, so this is the LCM. Again, it's contradicting the given condition. Hence, we are moving to the third one. Here, 580 and 870. So, while we are considering these two numbers, HCF equal to 290 and LCM. So, here we know that this 580, so that is nothing but here 290 into 2. And this 870, so that is equal to 290 into 3. So, therefore, their LCM So which is equal to 290 into these additional two factors, those are 2 into 3. So while we are multiplying these values, so what you will get here, this will be equal to 290 into 2 into 3. Got it? So if you are simplifying this one, what you will get? So this is 290 into 2, 290 into 3. So therefore, what is the LCM here? So this is equal to 6 into 290. So 6, 0 is there. 54, 5 is there. 12 plus 5. So that's equal to 17. 1740. So therefore, this is here. LCM is 1740. Got it? Yeah, that's satisfying our requirement. Therefore, our assumption is correct. Therefore, this is the right one. From the options, we can reach the conclusion like this. Then we can think about what is the actual approach towards this type of a question. This is from the options. So how we can answer these types of questions in a normal way, we just consider. So if we are doing these questions, it will be in the another way or the algebraic way how it will become. We can check it. Here, first we have to think about the LCM of two numbers as 290. Sorry, HCF of two numbers as 290. So therefore, we can assume those numbers are, suppose the numbers are N1 and N2. We can assume those numbers as 290x and 290y. Got it? So this is a way to express a given number with respect to their HCF. Here, x and y, where x and y are coprimes. Got it? X and y are coprimes. Here, how we can find out LCM? So LCM, that is 29xy. 29xy. So that's a very important understanding. And it is given that this 29xy is equal to 1740. So you just find out what is xy here. So this is 1740 by 29, which is equal to 6. Understand this x and y are coprimes. So how we can express 6 as the product of two coprime factors? So therefore, x equal to 2 and y equal to 3. We can consider the values like this. So therefore, how we assumed the numbers here? So those are 290x and 290y. If x equal to 2, or it's in the reverse order also, that's not a matter, order not, it doesn't matter here. So if it is 2, so this is 290 into 2. So that is 580. And if it is 3, y is 3. So this is 290 into 3, which is 870. So these are the two numbers here. If there are, again, possibilities to express this product 6 as a product of two coprime factors, so some numbers will be there. Then there are multiple possibilities for the pair of numbers. But in this case, exactly one pair. And those numbers are 580 and 870. The next question. The ratio between the length and breadth of a rectangular field is 5:4. If the breadth is 20 meter less than the length, find the perimeter of the field. So here we just consider length we can assume as 5x and breadth we can assume as 4x. So the difference between length and breadth, so that is 5x minus 4x, so which is equal to x. And it is given that this x equal to 20 meter. So therefore, this length equal to 5 into 20, 5 into 20. So that is equal to 100 meter. And breadth equal to 4 into 20. So which is equal to 80 meter. Therefore, what we have to consider? The perimeter. Now we are moving to find out what is the perimeter here. So here, the perimeter we can consider perimeter of a rectangle, that is 2 into L plus B. 2 times of length plus B. Perimeter means that's the total length of the line or edge of side of this rectangle. So that is 2 times of length plus breadth. Here it is 2 times of 100 plus 80. So what it is? 360. So this is 360 meter. And the answer is option 2. Then move to the next question. Here, it's an interesting question. It's a question based on functions. Functions here acting in the form of operators. Here, first understand, this depends upon the nature of the value of x. Here we have to consider 3 possibilities for this function. First of all, if x equal to 5, so if x equal to 5, so what is f of x? F of x. So if x equal to 5, this is the range, right? Therefore, f of x equal to 2x plus 1. This is 2x plus 1. This is in between 4 and 8 here. So x should be lying in between 4 and 8. So therefore, we can easily find out what is f of 5. So f of 5. So what it is? 2 into 5 plus 1, which is equal to 11. Then we are considering. Now what is the value of f of x? So here f of x is equal to as f of x equal to 11. Now the range is this one. So here the range of f of x is this one. That this f of x is greater than 8. So therefore, we are finding what is f of x. F of x. So there we have to consider this relationship, that is x square plus 1. Instead of x, we have to put f of x. So this is f of x square plus 1. So we have the value of f of x as 11. So this is 11 square plus 1. So that is equal to 121 plus 1, which is 122. So that is option 2. That's a tricky question because the second function is changed as per the value of that input. So that's a very important understanding. And the next question, a sum of money is divided among A, B, C such that for each 2 rupee, A gets 1 rupee, B gets 65 paise and C gets 35 paise. So here we just consider the share of these 3 persons, A, B and C. So for each 2 rupee, A gets 1 rupee. 1 rupee we can write it as 100 paise. And B gets 65 paise. C gets 35 paise. So we can convert it in the form of ratio. So we know that all these values can be divisible by 5. So when we divide it by 5, this is 20. Divided by 5, this is 13. Divided by 5, this is 7. So this is the ratio. And the share of C is 560. Then find the sum. So here, what is the sum here? So that is 20 plus 13 plus 7. So sum of these all values, that's equal to 20 plus 20, that's equal to 40. So here, share of C. As per the ratio values, it is 7. And here we have to find out the total sum. So what is the total sum here? 40 as per the ratio values. We are equating these quantities. It is given that the share of C is rupees 560. So this is rupees 560. Then we have to find out what is this value. You just simply observe it. The 7 into 80 will make 560. Got it? Similarly, this 40 into 80 we just consider. So what is the value here? This is 3,200. 3,200. So the answer is option 3. Okay, then move to the next question. Two trains 200 km apart start from opposite directions at the same time. They cross each other at a distance of 110 km from one of the stations. So what is the ratio of the speeds? So here we just consider a distance, or this track, and their track we just consider. If we are considering, so this is the total distance or the difference between these two stations. So here this is stations A and B. A and B. So the total distance is 200 km. Both the trains start from here one train, here another one train. So meet at a certain point. So meet at a certain point which is 110 km away from one among these two stations. You can take any one station. So I am taking here to here, that is 110 km. Suppose if you are considering. So this is the meeting point. Therefore, this particular distance, so this is 110 km. Correct? So therefore, what is this distance, remaining distance? That is 90 km. So they met at this particular point. So if it started from here and reached here, it started from here, reached here, in a constant time. Understand? Here time is constant. When time is constant, time is constant What is the relationship here? Relationship between speed and distances. Here, when time is constant, ratio of speeds, that is same as the ratio of distances they covered. Ratio of speeds, that is same as the ratio of distances they covered. Here, the first train, it covered 110, and the second train, it covered 90. Or we can simplify it like 11:9. Order doesn't matter because it's not specifically mentioned which train covered 110 and which is the faster train. So it may either 11:9 or 9:11. Look at the options, which among the options should satisfy this relationship. Here only option 3. So that's the important point here. Time is constant in this context. Time is constant in the sense, so both the train starts from both the ends. So then meet at a point, common point. So trains took the same time for this meeting. Correct? The next one. The second term of a geometric progression is 27. And the third term is 9. Find the sixth term and the sum of all the 6 terms. Here, second term. So how we have to express second term of an arithmetic progression? That is AR raised to 1. So it is given that the second term is 27. And the third term, so how we can express? This is equal to AR square, because nth term of a geometric progression is AR raised to n minus 1. So that is the result here. Therefore, this is third term AR raised to 2. So this is equal to 9. If you are dividing this third term by second term, so what you will get? This is AR square by AR. So that means 9 by 27. What you will get? Here we will get R. So what is the R here? This is 1 by 3. When we are substituting the value of R in the first term, so that is second term, first result, that is AR raised to 1. So here it is given that AR, which is equal to, from here we are considering, AR, that is 27. Therefore, it is given that R equal to 1 by 3. Therefore, what is the value of A here? So that is 81. So that is simply A into 1 by 3 equal to 27. Therefore, A equal to 81. So we got 2 important conclusions related to this GP. Its common ratio is R and its first term is A. Then what we are going to find out? In this case, we are going to find out the next further step of operations. So we are going to find out the sixth term. So how to find out sixth term? Sixth term is nothing but a into r raised to 5. Here we have a equal to 81. 81 into r raised to 5. So that is 1 by 3 raised to 5. Do you know what is 81 or how we can convert this 81 in terms of 3? This 81 is nothing but this is 3 raised to 4. So therefore we can write it as 3 raised to 4 into 1 by 3 raised to 5. So after simplification, this is equal to 1 by 3. That is equal to 1 by 3. Therefore sixth term, so that is 1 by 3. Here we reach the conclusion either 1 or option 2. For confirming which will be the right one, we have to find out the next question's answer. So what is the next question? Sum of all the 6 terms. So here we have to consider next step. So how to find out sum of n terms of a geometry progression? So here the common ratio is less than 1. So therefore the result is a into 1 minus r raised to n divided by 1 minus r. So here we have to find out the sum of first 6 terms. 6 terms. Here what is the value of a? A is equal to 81. 81 into 1 minus 1 by 3 raised to 6. So that is 1 by 3 raised to 6 divided by 1 minus 1 by 3. Here this value we can consider what is 1 by 3 raised to 6. So that is equal to 9 cube, which is equal to 729. Like that we have to easily conclude it. So therefore this is 81 into 1 minus 1 by 729 divided by. This is 1 minus 1 by 3, that is equal to 2 by 3. Then further we can simplify this step of operation. Here if we are doing the simplifications, what it is, this is equal to 81 into 728 by 729 whole divided by 2 by 3. Take this 2 over here, but this 3 goes to numerator. 3 goes to numerator. Then we can simplify these values. Here we just consider 81 and 729. So this is 9 times, right? And this 3 and 9, that is 3. So then 2 and 728, here we just consider this is equal to 364 here. So finally our answer is 364 by 3. So what is this 364 by 3? We just consider. So when it is 364 by 3, so which is equal to 121 and 1 by 3. Got it? Here we can consider the values like this. So that is either 364 by 3 or 121 by 1 by 3. But look at the options in which form we have to consider. So directly we have to find out in the form 364 by 3. We don't want to consider this operational value like this in the form of mixed fractions. So simply consider the values like this. That is, you don't want to convert it like this. So directly that is 364 by 3. Hence the answer is option 2. So it's such a subjective, means result-wise approach. You have to familiar with the basic results of geometry progression. With the help of that geometry progression, you can reach a conclusion easily. Once you're familiar with the results of geometry progressions, you can do most of the steps by mind. So only for getting the clarity about the steps I just explained, it's in a detailed way. But you can do most of the steps of operations by mind. So move to the next question. Working 6 by 7 of his usual speed. Sham is 25 minutes late. What is his usual speed? I will teach you a very easy method for this types of question. You just simply consider 6/7 of speed. 6/7 of speed. What's the result here? Simply think about. if we are reducing our speed, what will happen? The time taken for the completion of such a work. So time taken, it will increase. Clear? So that's a simple concept because speed and time are in inverse variation. So here 6/7 of his usual speed, Shyam is 25 minutes late. 25 minutes late. So therefore, if speed and time are inverse variation, you have to write the reverse or inverse of this ratio, that is 7/6 of time. Got it? 7/6 of time. That's a simple step, first step. Then how we can understand this step? 7/6 of time means that is 1/6 more than the usual time. So 1/6 in the sense here, the difference between these two values you just consider. What is the difference here? Got it? So in a value like this 7/6, so this value is 1 more than denominator. That is called 1/6 more. So we can conclude this additional time is 1/6 of usual time. 1/6 of usual time. So that is 25 minutes. He become late by 25 minutes. That is 1/6 of usual time. So therefore we can easily catch what is usual time. So here what is usual time? So this is 25 into 6. So this much minutes, So all the options are in hours. So therefore we have to express this in hours. How we can do? So we just divide this minute expression by 60. So this many hours here. So while observing this one, this is 10, 25 by 10. 25 by 10, which is equal to 5/2 hours. What is 5/2? How we can express 5/2? That's equal to 2.5. So 2.5 hours. So the answer is option 2. Okay, then move to the next question. A bag contains 25 paise, 10 paise and 50 paise coins in the ratio of 1:2:3. If the total value is ₹45, the number of 10 paise coins. It's a normal ratio application question. Here you have to learn the idea. We have the ratio of number of coins. We have to convert it in the ratio of amount. So based on that ratio, we can catch the answer of this kind of a question. So first of all, we just consider which are the denominations here or the coin denominations. Got it? So here denominations. In this sense, here the prices are 25 paise, 10 paise and 5 paise. And the ratio of number of coins. Ratio of number of coins. Got it? So that's the given quantity. So that is 1:2:3. Therefore, the ratio of amount, got it? Ratio of amounts. Here you just simply assume. So here 25 paise. So exactly 1 coin here. You just simply visualize it. 10 paise, 2 coins here. 5 paise, 3 coins here. So therefore, this is 25 is to 2 into 10. So that's equal to 20. And 3 into 5, that is 50. Here we know that the simplification is possible actually, but we are doing it with the same set of values. How it will work, like that we can consider. So here we have to find out if the total amount is 45, then what will be the number of 10 paise coins? Don't forget this is 45, rupees 45. So if you are adding these all values together, what it will become 25, 20 and 50. So what is the value here? So this is equal to 25 into 20, 45 plus 15, that's equal to 60. 60. So which are the required expressions here that we have to catch? So the total amount is this one. And we need to find out the total number of 10 paise. 10 paise is this one. So we can connect it. So here the total amount, so that is 60, we just assume. So that is total amount. Total amount, so that is 60. And the number of 10 paise coins, number of 10 paise coins. So as per the assumption, that is 2. Here again we can cancel these values further if it's required. So how it will become, so here this is 30, this is 1. Got it? So now we have to check it. This 30 is representing how much? Rupees 45. Don't forget, rupees 45 means 4,500 paise. Clear? Because we all expressed these amounts in paise format. Don't forget that. Therefore, 1 is how much? So here we know that 30. 30 into 150 will make this 4,500. Therefore, 1 into 150 will be the answer. Hence, the answer is 150. So here the answer is option 2, 150. Here we converted the values in the form of ratios. So you can start to frame it as a ratio from the very first denomination step onwards. Got it? So here I just made the simplification, the final step. So here you can start it from here onwards. That's not a problem. As per that ratio arrangement, which will be the total sum here, that you have to connect it with the total amount. Here the very important point, we expressed all the denominations in the given question. It is given as in paise format. But the final total amount in rupee format, we have to convert it into paise. Then only we can reach a correct conclusion here. So now we can move to the next question. Here, the question is, if a boy walks from his house to his school at the rate of 4 km per hour, he reaches the school 10 minutes earlier than the scheduled time. However, if he walks at the rate of 3 km per hour, he reaches the school 10 minutes late. Find the distance of the school from his house. It's a typical question. But the students who are facing this question at the first time may face difficulty. So you have to develop a concept. You have to reach a step of operation here. Then after that, you have to consider it's as a result. Get it? It's as a result. This question situation, you have to be familiar. So whenever the same question again asked or the similar pattern will repeat, so what you want to do? Immediately you have to reach the conclusion through the tricks I am going to explain here. So what is the method? First of all, you have to understand. So what's the time or the basic idea of this concept? Here the basic idea we can consider. So this is a timeline we just consider. This is a timeline. So why we are considering the timeline? There is a time we just fixed that is equal to 10 a.m. The boy walks at a speed of 4 km per hour, reaches school 10 minutes early. So that means 10 minutes early means the time is 9:50. At that time he walked at a speed of 4 km per hour. Instead, at a speed of 3 km per hour, he reaches the school 10 minutes late. So instead, if it is 10 minutes late, the time will become 10:10. So at that time, he traveled at 3 km per hour. Here you have to understand what's the time difference between these two time intervals. So that's the total difference here. So from here to here, what's the total time difference? Total time difference. This is 10 minutes late, 10 minutes early, therefore 20 minutes. That's the total time difference. So this is called the time difference. So this is the time difference here. Time difference. So this time difference, if you have to express it in hours, so it is 20 minutes or this is 20 by 60. That is 1 by 3 hours. So what is the use of this time difference here? That means a person took this much time to reach this destination, a constant distance. So it's only the timeline. This is only a timeline. A constant distance. If he is traveling at 3 km per hour. Instead, he needs this much time or he reached up to this point, this time, when he traveled at 4 km per hour. So therefore, we can connect it. Let the distance we can consider. So that as D. Let the distance, so that is D kilometer. So if he is traveling at 3 km per hour, so this is the time taken for that trip. Instead, if he is traveling at 4 km per hour, that's the second time. So this total time difference is 20 minutes, or that is 1/3 hours. You just simplify this result or this step of operation, you will get the value of D. So this is the simple step. And while we are simplifying, here we will get this is 4 into D, this is 3 into D, or simply we can consider this is equal to D into 1/3 minus 1/4 is equal to 1/3. So then how to do this step of operation? Here in such a situation, so this is equal to, then D into, this is 4 minus 3, that is 1, then 3 into 4, that is 12. So that is equal to 1/3. Therefore, D equal to 12/3. That is 4 km. So this is the answer. But here, I just teach you another one very important concept here. In such a situation, how to do it. In such a situation, distance, we can directly find out. That's the application of this result. So distance is speed 1 into speed 2 into time difference in hours. So that's expressed by the letter T. Time difference in hours. That means it's suitable because speed 1 and speed 2 are in kilometer per hour. Therefore, we have to express this time difference in hour format, divided by speed 1 difference speed 2. So it's a very important result. Don't forget here T stands for time difference in hours. So how we can express or apply this result in our question? It is given that 4 km per hour, 3 km per hour, and time difference we already found that as 1/3 divided by 4 minus 3. Irrespective of considering the diagram or the sentence steps of operation, conventional kind of approach, you can directly apply the result to find out the answer here. So here we know that this is equal to 1 and 3 become cancelled. So this is 4 km. So it's a very important result. So here we have the answer. So here we have the answer that as 4 km. Clear? So this is 4 km. Then move to the next question. A television survey gives the following data for TV channel viewing. 60% watch CTV, 50% Sony, 50% Star Plus, 30% watch C and Sony, 20% watch Sony and Star Plus, 30% watch Star Plus, and C 10% do not view any channels. Find out what percent view C, Sony and Star Plus, what percent view exactly 2 channels, and what percent watch only 1 channel, C. So, a lengthy question, right? So, while reading the question itself, we got the idea. It's a basic application of Venn diagram. Here we have 3 diagrams. So, three sets. So, how we can express them? So, we just consider 3 sets. So, the sets we can consider like this. Here, these circles are representing 3 sets. And there is a universal set also. That means that contains this entire students. So this is the set which contains the entire students. So here, this set is representing the total. Got it? So this total, so which is 100%. In this case, we can consider that as 100%. So then, how to do such a type of question? Here, if we are considering the step or we just include or give the details over here. So first of all, this is the case we can consider. This is the first one, Z, and the second one, Sony and Star Plus. Sony and Star Plus. Got it? These are the three channels. And we have to insert the given data, available data here. So here C, 60%. So you don't want to put the percent symbol, you just simply consider 60 students are there. And here 60% watch C, 50% Sony, and 50% watch C+, 50% Star Health. So that is 50%. 30% watch C and Sony. Here we just consider C and Sony. So that means this entire region. So therefore I am expressing that value over here. Expressing that value over here. So what this value, that's equal to 20% watch. So here 30% watch C and Sony, and 20% watch Sony and Star Plus, 20% watch Sony and Star Plus, and 30% watch Star Plus and C. 30% watch Star Plus and C. Got it? And 10% do not view any channels. Suppose here we just consider that is neither. So that is 10%. That's out of this entire circular regions. So these are the regions representing these persons. There you have to consider. I just put this middle value that as X. So how to find out the value of X here? So for finding the value of X, there the basic result. We just consider the number of persons watching any one among these three channels, that we can express it as, suppose this set, I am naming this as set A, so this is set B, and this is set C. So this is set C. Here we just consider the basic result. So that is the basic results of three Venn diagrams. So that is number of A union B union C. So that is equal to number of A plus number of B plus number of C minus. So here the next result we just consider. So that is number of A intersection B plus number of B intersection C plus number of C intersection A. And finally, so what you have to do? You just add number of A intersection B intersection C to the value. So this is the result. This is the result of those three quantities, means that's the combination here, number of A union B union C. So from this diagram we can catch, so what is the relationship here? First of all, you have to consider what is number of A union B union C. Out of this 100, 10 students excluded. So remaining 90 will be here. So this is 90. Got it? So if it is 90, just rest all the data here. So here number of A, so that is equal to 60. And number of B, that is the second set which contains the number of students or number of persons who watch only Sony. Not only Sony. That means including the entire regions are represented by this circle. And the first one, that is C, so that is total 60%. And the third one, number of C, so there we have to consider set to C. Set to C is the number of viewers of Star Plus. So what is the number of viewers of Star Plus here? That's equal to 50. So this value, this is also 50 minus. And this intersection regions, we have to consider what is the intersection regions, 30, 20 and 30. So therefore that is 30 plus 20 plus 30. And final combined, that means all the channels together, that is X. From this step, we can easily catch this 90. So this is equal to 160 minus 80 plus X. Or this is equal to 80 plus X. Therefore, X equal to 10. So that's the important understanding here. So then we can continue with that finding. If x equal to 10, what's the conclusion here? So we got x equal to 10. So just substitute the value of x here. So as x equal to 10. So we can fill rest all the values. It is given that these two regions, so that means 10 plus this region equal to 30, therefore that is 20, and 10 plus this region equal to 20, therefore this region is 10. 10 plus this region equal to 30, therefore this is also 20. And while we are considering this entire regions, this is 20 plus 10 plus 20, then something will be equal to 60. So while we are adding these all values, this will be equal to 50, and the remaining value, that is equal to 10. And again here this is 40 plus 10 will be equal to 50. So this is 40 plus 10 will be equal to 50. From this diagram we can easily catch what are the required thing. The first one, find out what percent view C, Sony and Star Plus. So here, so that means the total quantity. So C, Sony and Star Plus. So what is the value here? That is 10%, or that is the middle region. So here we can consider that is 10%. So our answer's first value, that is 10%. So number of persons you view all the three channels together. That means C, Sony and Star Plus. Then the next one, what person view exactly two channels? So there I just write down the steps here. So the first one, so number of viewers for all the channels. That's the first point. First point, all the channels. Percentage view C, Sony and Star Plus. That means this is the total number of the persons who are watching all these three channels. So how we can write it perfectly? This is C, Sony and. So that's very important. Application here, C, Sony and Star Plus. Got it. So that is this joint region, combined region. So that is 10%. And the second result. What is the second result here? What person view exactly two channels? Exactly two channels. Exactly two channels. How to find them? Exactly two channels means this 20, 10 and 20. So these three are the regions here. Therefore 20 plus 10 plus 20. So which is equal to 50%. And what about the next one? Third one. What person watch only channel C? So third one. So only C. Got it? Only C. So understand that region. What is only C? Only C means this region. Clear? So that is equal to 10. That is 10%. So just observe the answer. 10%, 50%, then 10%. So here option 3 is the answer. So this is such a lengthy question, but based on that basic result, we can reach the conclusions. Like that, you have to understand that basic result through that result-wise approach. Venn diagram, most of the time, in our exam, if you'll get the Venn diagram related question, if it contains 3 sets like this at that time, in most of the cases, it's a time-consuming type of question. But you have to practice it. Through the practice, you can reduce the time consumption. So in some situations, questions are not much complicated. Easily you can tackle this one. This question, if you are considering the difficulty wise, it's not complicated. So what is the problem there? You have to get in familiar with the basic idea of this concept. That's a very important requirement. There are some tricky type of questions also we can expect from the same topic of Venn diagram. What is the requirement? You have to practice almost all the varieties of questions from this topic. Okay, move to the next question. This is a trigonometry concept. So how to do this one? It's a basic instant result. So while reading the question itself, we can immediately reach the conclusion. What actually we are doing, if the students are well aware about the result, then you can easily conclude this is the answer. So for the explanation purpose, I just give the proof of this result. So what's the tricky concept there? For proving this one, you have to learn some other results. So that's the basic things. So this is a result which among those set of basic results. So with the help of those basic results, we can expand this one. So I just teach you the basic idea. What is cos A plus B? That's the first understanding. So that is cos A into cos B minus sin A into sin B. Got it? So therefore we just consider cos theta plus theta. So that is cos 2 theta. Cos 2 theta. So applying this idea, this is cos theta into cos theta. Cos theta into cos theta minus sin theta into sin theta. So that is nothing but cos square theta minus sin square theta. So this is the result, cos square theta minus sin square theta. And we know that sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. So we have the basic results. Sin square theta, we know that sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. So therefore applying that concept here, I am just simply dividing this one. This is cos 2 theta. So I am simply writing this is cos square theta minus sin square theta divided by cos square theta plus sin square theta. Why we are writing like this one? Here we know that this cos square theta plus sin square theta, that's equal to 1. That's equal to 1. So here we are simply dividing the values like this. Then after that what we can do? We just divide both the numerator and denominator by cos square theta on the right side only. Got it? So on the right side we are dividing both the numerator and denominator by cos square theta. So how it will become? So here we are doing the division like this. This divided by cos square theta and this divided by cos square theta. So that's a simple step. Here we will get the steps of operations like, so this is the basic proof of that identity or the result. So this is cos square theta by cos square theta minus sin square theta by cos square theta divided by, and this denominator, this is cos square theta by cos square theta plus this is sin square theta by cos square theta. So therefore the answer is 1 minus, as we know, sin square theta by cos square theta equal to tan square theta. So this is 1 minus tan square theta by 1 plus tan square theta. So this is the proof. But what's the funny thing? If you don't know that basic result, so such a student doesn't know this result also. So then how he or she can prove it? So therefore what do you have to consider? So you have to by heart that basic result. So this is an expression for cos 2 theta. Cos 2 theta. Therefore that is 1 minus tan square theta by 1 plus tan square theta. This is the simple proving method of that result. So here the answer is option 4. Then move to the next question. The present cost of Bajaj motorcycle is 50,000. What will be its value after 3 years if the cost increases every year by 10%? So in which way we can find the answer of this question? As you know, there is the application of successive variation. That successive variation you are quite familiar in the form of compound interest. So therefore what you have to consider? So increases every year. Therefore what will be the value or the final value? Here we can consider the final value. So this is final value. So that is this 50,000. Each year its price is increased by 10%. Therefore we can write it like this, 10%. 1 plus 10 by 100 for 3 years. Or this is 50,000 into this value 110 by, or we just simplify like this. So at that time this will be, so here we can consider, if you are cancelling the values like this, this is 11 by 10, the whole cube. If you are well aware about what is 11 cube. So 11 cube, so with the help of that understanding we can reach the conclusion here. So this is 11 cube is 1331. What is 10 cube? That is 1000. So you just simplify it. So these 3 zeros, 3 zeros. So this is simply 50 into 1331. We can easily find the answer. So put 1 0 at the end. Just multiply these values by 5. This is 5. 5 into 3, 15. 1 is there. 5 into 3, 15 plus 1, 16. 1 is there. 5 into 1, 5 plus 1, 6. So the answer is 66550. So the answer is option 3. Then move to the next question. A ball is thrown up from a height of 5 meters. It reaches a height of 20 meters from the ground and returns to the ground. Every bounce reduces the subsequent height reaches by 25%. Find the total distance it covered by the ball before it finally comes to rest. It's a quite common question, but maybe some of you at the first time you observed such a question because you didn't have any prior experience in this preparation area. But now onwards you have to get familiar with these types of typical questions. And what is the importance of such a familiarity? So once you are familiar with a similar type of question in any part of your practice, you got a clear picture about the nature of tackling method of this type of a question. What's the concept behind such a question? First of all, if you are not facing such a question, if you didn't face such a question so far, so at the initial reading itself, maybe it's a little bit difficult to generate a basic idea. You have to simply draw and think about what is the process there. And it may take too much time to reach a unique conclusion there because there may be some of the tricky or the confusing situation arise in such a situation. So what do you want to do here? A ball is thrown up from a height of 5 meters. So first of all, we have to think about the ground we can assume here. So there's a ground we just consider, the visualization. From this ground, 5 meter height, this ball thrown. So if you are considering that ball thrown from a height of 5 meter, suppose this is the height of 5 meter. 5 meter. From this 5 meter, this ball thrown. So what happened here? It goes 20 meter from the ground. So here it's thrown like this, 20 meter from the ground, hit here. So this height is 20 meter. So here if you're considering, this height is 20 meter. So this height is 20 meter. 20 meter. So what will happen? So then it's bounce. So when it's bounce at that time, reached by 25% here, reduce the subsequent height reached by 25%. So here it's 25% lesser than the previous one, 25% lesser than the previous one, 25% lesser than the previous one, 25% lesser, 25% lesser, 25% lesser, and so on and so on. The process will continue like this. So therefore, we have to consider what's the total distance it covered. Total distance is covered means upward journey and downward journey. We have to consider it. So while we are observing this one, this first 20 as height, then 20 down. And so here if you are considering the total distance it traveled, so total distance it's traveled. So here 20 upward, 20 downward. So that means 2 times of 20 plus. What will happen? Here 1/4 it's reduced because there is a decrease of 25%. Therefore 3/4 is there. So 3/4 of 20 will be the next upward and downward. 2 we put outside. And the next one, so that is 3/4 of 20. Got it? And so on. So it will turns to infinite terms. Infinite terms. Infinite terms means when it comes to rest, we are assuming that as infinite terms. But here we know that it starts from 5 meters above the ground. So therefore, that particular 5 we have to subtract from this total value. So this is the answer, or this is the step. So understand what is the specialty of the numbers in this bracket. So this is not about a GP. It's not a simple GP. It's an infinite GP. So it's an infinite GP. So here I just introduced what is infinite GP. This is an infinite GP. Infinite GP. GP means geometrical progression. So in this infinite GP, if the common ratio is less than 1, sum to infinity, that is first term divided by 1 minus common ratio. That's a very important understanding. Here, if you are considering this infinite GP, here what is the common ratio? In each time this is 3/4, 3/4. Therefore, the common ratio is 3/4. So therefore, how we can conclude this one? This is 2 in 2. Apply the result of infinite GP here. The first term is 20 divided by 1 minus 3/4. Got it? Minus 5. So how it will become? 2 into. So this value, this is nothing but 1 minus 3/4, that's equal to 1/4. So this value we can write it as 2 into 20 divided by 1/4 minus 5. So that is equal to 2 into 20 into 4. 20 into 4 minus 5. So this is equal to 80. 2 into 80, that's equal to 160. So that is 160 minus 5, which is equal to 155. 160 minus 5, which is equal to 155. So that's the total distance it traveled. So therefore, the answer is 155 meter. So here, the answer is 155 meter. Understand that concept of infinite GP. So there's an application of infinite GP here. Okay, move to the next question. The ages of A and B are in the ratio 9:4, 7 years. Hence, the ratio will be 5:3, the present age of A and B respectively. So here, we just consider the present age of A as 9x and present age of B as 4x, which means the age of A at present is a multiple of 9 and that of B is a multiple of 4. So first of all, instead of starting the operations in any of the way, you just simply observe the options. So if you're lucky, there is only one option that's as the multiples of 9 and 4 here. So here just observe one. Unfortunately, all the options are satisfying the same condition. So here a multiple of 9 and multiple of 4. So it's again multiple of 9 and 4, multiple of 9 and 4. So that's an issue. So what do you want to do? Here we just consider, I just rewrite the ratio like this. So the first person's age after 7 years, we can write it like this, 9x plus 7. And second person's age after 7 years, again 4x plus 7. So I just write down, it's in the form of a fraction or a ratio. So here, this final ratio that has 5:3. Just make a cross multiplication. Then you can find the value of x. So what is the advantage of this kind of an operation? So through the simple steps of operation, you can find the value of x. So here, if you are doing the cross multiplication, so this is 27x plus 3 into 7, 21. And this is 5 into 4, 20x plus 35. So here 7x is equal to 35 minus 21, which is equal to 40. So therefore, x equal to 2. If we have the x equal to 2, then therefore the age of A. So what is the age of A, or the present age of A? So we assumed that as 9x. So 9 into 2, that is 18. And age of B, so that is 4 into 2, so that is 8. So these are the answers of 18 years and 8 years. I will teach you a most interesting type of approach towards this type of a question. So whenever we will get such a question, immediately what you want to do. So that's a tricky approaching style. So here we just consider the ages of A and B. So here present or present. So here the ratio is 9:4. So 7 years hence. 7 years hence. So this ratio, so that is equal to 5:3. So what do you want to do? You just simply write those 7 here, because 7 years, 7 years. Now we are going to find out the same step of operation. So here we put a multiplicative factor. This is called a multiplicative factor, x. The same operation, how we can perform it easily as per this arrangement. If you need to find out x, what do you want to do? You just simply cross multiply these two values and write the difference there. So that means numerator of our operation 5 into 7 minus 3 into 7. 3 into 7 divided by. For the denominator, don't forget step 1. So if you need to find out the multiplicative factor in the first ratio, you have to cross multiply the second ratio and the constant values. Then find the difference of those products. And step 2, so you have to multiply these values, take the cross product and take the difference here. So here 4 into 5 or 5 into 4, we just consider 5 into 4 minus 3 into 9. Have you got the step clearly? So this is step 1, this is step 2. So this step 1 for numerator, step 2 for denominator. You just simplify it. You'll get the same 2 instantly. Here, this is equal to 35 minus 21. Divided by this is 20. So here, this is equal to 27. So that we have to write in the reverse order. So which will be the largest one that you can write at the first. Here order doesn't matter. Here order doesn't matter. So therefore here we just consider it's in the reverse order. So therefore what you can do, this is equal to this one. This is 3 into here this operation. This is 27. This is 40. Sorry 20. So therefore this is 3 into 9 minus 4 into 5. That's it. So therefore, this is 27 minus 20. Or this numerator is 40, denominator is 7, which is equal to 2. Which is equal to 2. So that's the value of x, don't forget. Then after that, we have to find out the present ages of A and B through the substitution. You just substitute x is equal to 2 in these two expressions. Okay, then move to the next question. Here. Working at 3/4 of his usual speed, a man is late by 2.5 hours only. Find his usual time. Similar type of a question we already discussed in the form of the relationship, inverse variation-wise relationship between two components. Here also it's the case of speed and time. So here you have to consider 3/4 of speed, how it will reflect 4/3 of time. 4/3 of time. So you just observe this one. 4/3 of time, that means this is 1/3 more than usual time. Like that we have to read it. So initial time that was 3, now it is 4 units. Therefore 1/3 more, like that we just consider. So therefore 1/3 more time required. So this means 1/3 more time required. So 1/3 more time in the sense 1/3 of the initial time required. So therefore here we just consider 1/3 of usual time. 1/3 of usual time. So it is given that time as 2.5 hours. So therefore we can easily find out. So a man is late by 2.55 hours. So therefore the usual time. So here the usual time, that is 2.5 into this 3. So which is equal to 7.5 hours. 7.5. 7.5 is 7 and 1/2 hours. So that's a simple application of that inverse variation relationship. This is another one tricky question. Here x equal to 2 plus 2 raised to 2/3 plus 2 raised to 1/3. From such value, we have to find the value of this expression. Is it possible to find a value of x from this expression and substitute it in the given expression to find out the answer? No. That's a complicated type of operation. So therefore, you have to understand the nature of such a question. Whenever you will get such a tricky question, understand what is the tricky method or approaching style towards such a question. So it's a kind of algebraic arrangement. So take this 2 towards left side. So this is x minus 2. And on right side, that is 2 raised to 2/3 plus 2 raised to 1/3. If it's required, you can take 1, 2 outside. It will be like this for equating both the values are 2 raised to 1/3 each. Otherwise, keep the value like this. Then look at the expressions which are required. That is in the cube form. Therefore, take the cube on both the sides. So therefore, if you are taking the cube on both the sides, so therefore this is x minus 2, the whole cube is equal to 2 raised to 2/3 plus 2 raised to 1/3, the whole cube. As we know, the expansion of cube here. So here expansion of cube in the sense this is x cube minus 3a square b. So that is 6x square plus 3ab square. So that is 12x minus b cube. B cube was 8. On right side again, this is a cube that has 2 plus. So this time on right side, this is a plus b the whole cube. So that is a cube that is equal to 2 itself. And 3a square b. So therefore that we can write as 3 into a square b. So that is 2 raised to 4/3 into 2 raised to 1/3 plus 3ab square 2 raised to 2/3 into 2 raised to 1/3 the whole square. We can directly write it as 2/3. And plus b cube. B cube is 2 raised to 1/3 the whole cube. Here this is 2 raised to 2/3 the whole cube. We can write it as 2 square. Don't forget. So there is a slight mistake at the first time. Here this is 2 square. So this is expansion right side in the form of a cube, 3a square b, 3ab square, then b cube. So here we know that this is equal to 4 plus 2. So that is equal to 6. Or we can write this right side, it will be this 4, this 2, we can take it as 6 plus. So this 6 formed like this, 2 square equal to 4 and 2 equal to 2. Then 4 plus 2 will be equal to 6. Then while we are adding these two values together, here what it will become? So if we are considering this step of operation, this is 3 into 2 raised to 5/3 plus 3 into 2 raised to 4/3. So take the 6 towards left side. At that time, this will be x cube plus 6x square plus 12x minus 14. On right side, this is 3 into 2 raised to 5/3 plus 2 raised to 4/3. So this 2 raised to 5/3, 2 raised to 4/3, we can split it in the form 2 raised to 5 by 3. 2 raised to 5 by 3. So we can write it as 2 raised to 3 by 3 into 2 raised to 2 by 3. Or that is 2 into 2 raised to 2 by 3. So similar way the second one also we can split. This is 3 into 2 into 2 raised to 2 by 3 plus 2 into 2 raised to 1 by 3. So this 2 also we can take towards outside. Therefore that's equal to 3 into 2. 6 into, inside the bracket this is 2 into 2 raised to 2 by 3 plus 2 raised to 1 by 3. So again we can take this 6 towards left side. So then this 2 raised to 2 by 3 plus here, no need to take the 6 towards left side because it's in the product multiplication form. What is this 2 raised to 2 by 3 and 2 raised to 1 by 3 that we assumed as x minus 2. So we just substitute instead of this value that as an algebraic expression x minus 2. Here this is equal to 6 into x minus 2 because this 2 raised to 2 by 3 plus 2 raised to 1 by 3 is equal to x minus 2. Just expand this one. So this is on left side, this is x cube plus 6x square plus 12x minus 14. On right side that is 6x minus 12. So take these all values towards left side. At that time this is x cube plus 6x square. So this is 12x minus 6x, that is equal to 6x. And on right side this will be 14 minus 14 towards right side, minus 14. It become plus 14 minus 12, that's equal to 2. So we got the answer that's equal to 2. So this expression is q plus 6x square plus 6x, that's equal to 2. X cube minus 6x square, x cube minus 6x square. So don't forget here this is minus, so this is x cube minus x cube minus x cube minus. So here x cube minus 6 square minus 6 square, 6x square plus 6x equal to 2. So that's the final answer here. Here the answer is equal to 2. Okay, then move to the next question. Here the answer is 2. Next question. A 200-liter solution of alcohol and water contains 1/4 of alcohol. Find the new percentage of alcohol if 50 liter of the original solution is replaced by 50 liter of alcohol. What's the trick here? Here we just consider initially, it's a case of replacement. It's a single replacement. So a single quantity we are replacing. Here this 200 liter solution contains so alcohol and water. So here 1/4 of alcohol. 1/4 of alcohol means 50 liter. Got it? And here this is 150 liter. 150 liter. And if we are considering this, these values like this, instead of this 50 and 150, if you are writing the percentage values, so I just teach you the direct method to reach the conclusion for this type of a question. Instead of considering the quantities, this is 25% and this is 75%. We just simply consider like this. So what do you have to consider? We are replacing 50 liter of the solution and we are replacing it with 50 liter of alcohol. That's a very important condition. So what is the diminishing component here? Is it water or alcohol? Think about it. Here we are replacing it with alcohol. So therefore the diminishing or decreasing component is water. So that's a very important understanding here. So here the decreasing. So decreasing component. So here the decreasing component is water. Got it? So here the decreasing component is water. Therefore we have to consider what is the decrease occurred here. So it's a replacement quantity that's equal to 50 liter out of 200 liter. Got it? So therefore we just consider this is replacement quantity. That's the next important understanding. replacement quantity. So replacement quantity is 50 liter. So this is 50 by total. So into 100, or simply that is 25% of the total solution. That's the next important understanding. So that means each time we are removing 25% of, or only say single time replacement, one time we removed this 25% of the total solution and replaced it with alcohol. So therefore focus on diminishing component. There is a decrease of 25% will occur. There is a decrease of 25% will occur. Got it? So therefore we have to consider what is the decrease occurred here. So it's decreased by 25%. So how we can write it? 25% of 75%. So what is the logic we are applying here? Whenever we are removing 25% of this entire solution, so what will happen? So this, even if you are considering these two components, alcohol and water, both will be diminished by 25% each. That's a simple logic we are considering here. So that means this 50 liter, so that is 25% of the total solution. So when we remove 25% of the total solution, that 25% removement, it's applicable on both the components, alcohol and water. So at that time, its percentage, it's reduced by 25% of 75. So therefore, we are considering, that's why we are considering this will be equal to 75%. Initially that was 75%. So now it's become 75% minus 75% of, so 25% of 75. So at the same time, what it will become? Here it will be something like, what's the decreasing component here that will be added here after the next replacement? So therefore, here the final value or the final percentage of alcohol here, that is initially 25% plus this value will be added up here. So that is 25% of 75. So that's a tricky type of concept. So what is 25% of 75%? So that is nothing but 1/4 of 75. So simply consider what is 1/4 of 75. 75 by 4. Just consider this one. If you are simplifying this one, this is 2 times of 4. Sorry, 1 time of 4. So 1 time of 4, that's equal to 4. 35 is there, 18 is there, then 3 by 4, that is equal to 75. Or this is simply 25% plus 18.75%. So 25% plus 18.75%. Clear? So therefore, what is the answer here? 25 plus 18, that's equal to 43. So the final answer is 43.75%. So this is the answer. Understand? This way we can catch the answer of this type of questions easily. But understand the concept here. Here we are considering this replacement quantity is what percentage of the total quantity. Based on that idea, we are developing this concept. So this is a very simple type of operation. Okay. And here, these types of questions, here 1/4 of alcohol is there, then 3/4 of water will be there. So always consider the diminishing component. Based on that diminishing component, we can catch the answer. So I will teach you another one method also here for these types of questions. So what you want to do? You just simply consider another type of an operation here. So focus on diminishing component. That's the basic rule for these types of questions. Here understand that decreasing or diminishing component. So what is the diminishing component here? So that is water. What is the diminish occurred there? So there we know that 1/4 of the quantity is replacing. So that means here 50 liter is replaced by 200 liter. So therefore that's the same variation occurred for the quantity of water also. This is 200. So it contains alcohol and water in the form 50 liter and 150 liter. And we are replacing 50 liter. there you have to consider what is the percentage occurred there. So there we have to consider, so we are removing 50 liter. We are removing 50 liter. So therefore, so that means replacement quantity out of the total quantity is same as the initial quantity of water to the decrease in water. Decrease in water. So both are same. That's simple logic. This is the total replacement, total quantity. So this is in decrease in water, initial quantity of water. Therefore, we have to consider what is decrease in water. Therefore, decrease in water. So that's simple. That's simple. That's equal to, we can take this towards left side. So that's equal to 50 into 150 divided by 200. Simplified. So this is equal to 5 into 15. That's equal to 75 by 2. 75 by 2. So which is equal to 37.5. So you have to consider that kind of a decrease occurred here. So after this replacement, 37.5 will be decreased here. The same value will be added to this quantity. Added to this quantity. Why? Because there is a replacement. What's the quantity decreased here? The same quantity will filled with alcohol. Therefore, the final quantity of alcohol, that is equal to 87.5. As the total is not varying, we have to find out this new quantity of alcohol is what percent of the total. So that is 87.5 is what percentage of the total. So this is simply half of 87.5. So that's equal to 48.75%. So these are the two different ways to reach the conclusion of similar type of question. So there are lots of other ways, but these are the easiest to approach. And consider this one, x is to y equal to 2 is to 5. Then what is the value of 3x plus 4y? It is to 4x plus 5. Here we don't have y. Don't forget that. So that in just consider there is an option like cannot be determined. Most probably that will be the answer. No doubt in this case that's the answer. So what it is, here we just consider x equal to 2k. Here k is a multiplicative factor. Y equal to 5k. If you are substituting this x and y in this expression. So this is 3x plus 4y. I am expressing that's in the form of fraction for the convenience of operation. So this is 4x plus 5. Don't forget there is no y. So therefore, this is 3 into 2k plus 4 into 5k. So this is 4 into 2k plus simply 5. So what happened here? This is 6k, 20k. So that is 26k. This is 8k plus 5. So this k won't be simplified. So therefore, the various values of k, we will get different possible values for this expression. Therefore, there is not any unique numerical conclusion. So here we don't have any unique numerical conclusion. No unique numerical conclusion. So what we can conclude here, therefore cannot be determined. Thus you have to understand if all the values should have the same algebraic expressions x, y, then we can make unique conclusion there. We are sure the multiplicative factor will become simplified. But here it's not possible. Here we just consider this question. Here in this question, in a class of 200 students, 70 played cricket, 60 played hockey, and 80 played football. 30 played cricket and football, 30 played hockey and football, 40 played cricket and hockey. Then find the maximum number of people playing all the 3 games and minimum number of people playing at least 1 game. So first case, so maximum number of people playing all the games. So for considering that one, maximum. So for the maximum number of playing all the games. So maximum number of playing students playing all the games. So here we just consider 3 sets. 3 sets. Clear? So which are these 3 sets? Cricket, and here 70 played cricket, and 60 played hockey. So hockey 60, and 80 played football. 80 played football. So here it is given that 30 played cricket and football. So here this region, if you are considering this region, cricket and football. Cricket and football. So where we have to consider. So here 30 played cricket and football. So this intersection region. So combining these two. So that's equal to 30. And the second one, 30 played hockey and football. 30 played hockey and football. And the next one, 40 played cricket and hockey. 40 played cricket and hockey. So if you want to keep this as maximum, we just simply consider. So out of these 3 values, which is least? Here 30 is the least, therefore we can fill this as 30. So that's only the possibility. We have to verify whether it will work. So then how it is possible? If it is 30, then remaining is 10. So here 0, here 0. Got it? So therefore we just consider if this entire circular region representing 70, this is 30 plus 10, that is 40. Therefore this remaining it's 30. And this entire region sum, that will be equal to 60. Therefore 30 plus 10, that's equal to 40. 40 plus 20, that is equal to 60. And here this entire region is 80. This is 30. Therefore this is 50. Correct? So therefore we are sure. So the maximum all it's possible, that is 30. So where it's satisfying? Here this one. These 2 possibilities here. This maximum is 30. Then we are moving to the second possibility. So what is the second possibility? That is minimum number of people playing at least 1 game. Minimum number of people playing at least 1 game means this total sum should be minimum. So what is the requirement there? If you want to keep this total sum should be as least as possible. So the distribution of these values, extended values should decrease. That's a required condition. So therefore we have to again consider the next set arrangement here. So set arrangement here. So now we are going to find out minimum of at least 1 game. Minimum of at least 1 game. At least 1 game means that's the entire union. Here, for keeping this distribution, so what I am going to consider? So this region as 0. For keeping this distribution, I am considering that central region as 0. What is the advantage of assuming like that? If it is 0, this region entirely 40, because this 40 students or 40 players here. And if it is 0, this region is 30. If it is 0, this region is 30. Now we know that this total will be equal to 70. So here we know that this is 30 plus 40 itself is equal to 70. Therefore this region is 0. Clear? That's the important understanding. So here we just consider 40 plus 30 equal to 60. But this is total only 60. So therefore what is the problem? Therefore this kind of an assumption is not possible. Means we cannot assume this as 40. Hence this won't be equal to 0. So at the maximum we can assume this as 30. So because this total sum should be equal to 60. So here we know that the total sums of in each heads we just consider. Here the total 670, this is equal to 60, this is equal to 80. So by observing this least value among the total, so like that we have to develop the assumptions. Here we are considering if it is 30, 30, so therefore this is 0, 30, 30, 60 plus 110, 30, 30, 60 plus 20. So this is the total, minimum total. So while we are considering such minimum value, what it will become? Sum of these all values. So what is the sum of these all values here? If you are adding the values here, 10 plus, 30 plus, again 30 plus, 20 plus, another 30. So add up together. What is the total value here? So this is equal to 120. So that is 120. Just observe. So this is 120. Therefore, what we can conclude? Our answer is option 3. So understand, this is an arrangement type. It's an arrangement as per the requirement for getting the maximum total, means all this region, for keeping this as large. Therefore, we are assuming the assumptions like this for keeping the total minimum. So therefore, we have to assume this as 0. Then the distribution of these regions also carefully we have to do. Okay. Then the next question. The entrance fee of a museum was reduced by 25%, but the daily return increased by 30%. Right? Daily turn out increased by 30%. So what was the effect of this on the daily revenue? So here we just consider entrance fee. So here, how these components acted here. Entrance fee into turnout. So turnout means the number of viewers. So that will be equal to daily revenue. Got it? So this is the relationship. If this entrance fee is reduced by 25% and daily turnout increased by 30%, how it will affect the revenue? As we know, the product of these two values is equal to revenue. So there is a direct result. So that is called the concept of successive variation. So what is the concept of successive variation? If this quantity is vary by X%, this quantity is vary by Y% at that time, the net result, it will be, here we can consider that result. If this component is vary by X%, this is vary by Y%. Vary in the sense it may either increase or decrease. Then the product result occurred on the product, variation occurred on the product, that will be X plus Y plus X into Y by 100%. So don't forget, if the variation is decreased, you have to put the value as negative. So here, what is the variation here? This is minus 25 plus 30. So one is negative, another is positive. Therefore, the product become negative. So therefore, minus 25 into 30 by 100. So that's the variation. So therefore, this is equal to 5. Minus 25 plus 30, that's equal to 5. Minus 7.5. So what it will be the value here? Minus 2.5. So what it means? 2.5% decrease. Got it? 2.5% decrease. Hence the answer is option 4. Okay, then move to the next question. If a solid sphere of radius 10 centimeter is molded into 8 spherical solid balls of equal radius, then what is the radius of each such ball? So here we know that the volume of a sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Here instead of r, you just put that as 10. So we are splitting it into 8 small spherical cubes. So their volumes, so that is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So while observing these values, this is 4 by 3 pi, this is 4 by 3 pi, we can cancel it. So therefore r cube, that is 10 cube by 8. As we know, this 8 is nothing but 2 cube. So therefore this is 10 by, this is 10 cube by, this 8 is 2 cube. So take this is 10 by 2, the whole cube. So what is 10 by 2, the whole cube, which is equal to 5 cube? As we know, this r cube equal to 5 cube. Then what is the value of r here? R is equal to 5. So therefore, the radius equal to 5 centimeter here. So that's a simple conversion of that geometrical result. Then our final question. What is the least number which when divided by 18, 27 and 36 leaves the remainders 5, 14 and 23? So here we just consider divisors. That's an interesting question. And remainders. So whether there are any relationship between divisors and remainders. Here when 18, 27, 36 as the divisors, the corresponding remainders are 5, 14, 23. Just observe whether there are any peculiarity for these set of divisors and remainders. Here we know that the differences are same. So here we have the differences. Here 18 minus 5, so that is equal to 13. 27 minus 14, so that is 13. 36 minus 23, that's also 13. If there is a situation like this, we can consider the least such number, forgetting the least such number. Least such number. So that is simply LCM of these divisors 18, 27 and 36 minus this common difference. So that's a direct method. You just simply find out what is LCM of 18, 27 and 36. So that's another interesting operation. Here 18, 27 and 36. We know that 9 is a common factor, right? This is 2, 3 and 4. Got it? So here 2, 3 and 4. While we are considering the LCM of these all values, what it is? That is equal to 12. So therefore, for getting the final LCM, that is 12 into 9. So what is 12 into 9? Which is equal to 108. Therefore, here we got the value. This LCM is 108 minus 13. 108 minus 13. So what is the value here? So which is equal to 95. So hence the answer is option 4. So it's a tricky question from the area, from the topic of numbers. So some of the questions are above average level and most of the questions are in average or easy level. Therefore, you can perform it well. And you learned some of the additional tricks and additional types of questions in this CUET model exam also. Therefore, it's a very important practice. So you have to go through the exams. Then after completion of the exam, it's a mandatory thing. You have to analyze your performance. And again, it's a mandatory thing. You have to note all the very important results related to each and every questions. Right now, we can wind up. Thank you.